Hello fellow humans and welcome to the Madhouse. I'm Josh. How are we today? Well, I trust. And if not, hopefully I'll cheer you up. And speaking of cheering up, that's what I wanted to talk about today. There are two things actually, but they're both quite related. My mental health has not been great in the last few months, since February really, but it took a nosedive in March, really far down. And I've slowly been getting better, but not quite there yet. I can conduct my daily business well enough, but there's something that's not quite right. My mind's still cloudy all the time, and for some reason I cannot read. Well, I can obviously physically read, but I cannot just sit down and read a book like I used to from cover to cover. And it's not as though I'm too busy to do it. In fact, unfortunately, that's part of the problem. I'm off from university or something, so I have lots of time to read and I'm not using it. I start so many books with high hopes of finishing them and enjoying them, and it takes me forever. I have to drag myself through them and I just don't enjoy them as much, and I often don't even finish them. I've got about 6 books on my pile over there, which are currently as they were about a month ago. I don't like it. So with that in mind, I'm planning to put myself back in a good place. I am taking a week away from the internet. Once this video is uploaded, I shall turn my computer off and I won't be uploading any new videos for a week. I won't be using social media, nothing. I will not be using a computer at all. I will be focusing on my health, mentally and physically, and on my books. Absolutely nothing to do with the digital world whatsoever. Zip, nada, nothing. Now that doesn't mean that I'm going to be idle while I'm attempting to brighten myself up a little. I'm going to be taking part in a little readathon called Booktubeathon, I think. You may have heard of it, and if not, I'll put a link to the Booktubeathon channel with all the information about what it is, the challenges, the hosts, and the 100 book discount on Book Depository down below. But essentially the plan is to read as many books as possible over the period of a week. But I'm going to give these challenges a go too, because I need something to liven myself up a bit and give me motivation. So without further ado, this is my Booktubeathon TBR. And they are organised according to the challenges. So number 1 is a book with blue on the cover, and that is The Life of Brian screenplay by Monty Python. Now the front doesn't look blue at all, but the back is really quite blue. I needed a bit of laughter to cheer myself up, so I thought this would be an excellent example for it. It may be described as the most blasphemous film ever made, but that's all the more reason for it to be funny. Number 2, a book by an author who shares the first letter of your last name. I have chosen Shakespeare by Bill Bryson. Bryson is the only author I've got on my shelves who shares my last name. I was quite surprised by that revelation actually. I thought there were more of them, but apparently not. It's supposed to be quite good. I quite liked Notes from a Small Island, so I thought I'd give this a try. Now, someone else's favourite book. I will be reading the ebook for Fantastic Mr. Fox by Roald Dahl. It's my mum's favourite book from when she was a child, and still her favourite book now. And I quite enjoy it as well. I always used to love it. The Boggy Spunts and Bean song was fantastic. And I just loved the concept of digging further and further down like some sort of great game of cat and mouse. It was kind of like, what's it called? Tom and Jerry, but more fun. Number 4, read the last book you acquired. Now I could have gone for several of these because I bought a few in one go, but I have decided to go for the ebook of Golden Boy by Abigail Tartellin, or however you say that name. It's about an intersex teenager and his struggles. It's quite enjoyable. I have started it a little bit early because it just sounded so fascinating, and I am really hoping to finish it. I would say if you ever plan to read this book, and I recommend you do, although I'll give you more thoughts on this in a review afterwards, just be aware of the fact that it does involve sexual assault and rape. Number 5, a book to read without putting down, and for that I'm going to read The Last Hero by Terry Pratchett. It's not a typical Pratchett book, but I had to sneak one in here somewhere. It is in fact more of an adult picture book, and the insides are absolutely stunning in some places. It's all truly incredible how pretty some of these things are, and then the story is just as classically clever and sarcastic and satirical as one would expect from Sateri. Number 6, read a book that you really want to read. Trigger Warning by Neil Gaiman. This is another book that I picked up really rather recently, and it's a series of short stories. I expect them to be really rather dark because they're called Short Fictions and Disturbances, and most of Gaiman's books are rather dark, even Coraline. Some might say especially Coraline in fact, but that's a matter of personal taste. The 7th challenge is to read 7 books in total. So to take this up to 7, I'm going to read The Bloody Chamber by Angela Carter. I've not read this one before. I have read, what was it? The Magic Toy Shop, which I quite enjoyed, and I decided that I'd give something else of Carter's a try. It's a retelling of classical fairy tales, and I'm looking forward to it. It is going to be rather dark. I would expect nothing less from Carter. So as with Trigger Warning, those 2 being dark, I'm going to read those 2 before I read Fantastic Mr. Fox, because I'll need something to bring me out of it afterwards. Now, I hope to finish all 7 of these, and if I don't, then so be it. But I'm going to do my hardest, because some of these should really get me into reading again. And that's it. I'll update you at the end of the week when I've returned back to the internet. I hope you have a wonderful day. Please click like and subscribe and do the share thing. Oh, do the thing. Oh, I like that. Avatar reference there. Korra, that is, not Airbender. I will see you next time I see you. Cheers. Goodbye.